Hello, 7 East receiving students and teachers. Hello, thank you. Take your seats. All right, class, are you ready to play a game? Receiving students, we are going to play a short game called Hangman. All right. I am thinking of a word, and this word has, let me see, how many letters in it? 6 letters in it. What you are going to do, you are going to guess any letters in the alphabet to make up this word that I am thinking of. If you don't give me the right letters, you are going to be hung. Who's ready to give me one letter? All right. Emmanuel?
S.
Sorry, Emmanuel, not letter S. I am drawing the bar now to hang you. Scotty? Get ready, Lisa.
E.
Lisa?
I.
Yes. Let's try someone from that group. The boy with the balloon.
M.
Florence, sorry, drawing your head. Next person, Walter.
W.
Those of you putting your hands up, I know you have already worked out the word, so as the receiving students. What is the word, class? Wait. Okay, let's all say the word together. Wait. Thank you. Right, in today's lesson, receiving students, our topic today is on measuring weight, and we are going to be still on the same strand, working scientifically, and our learning outcome is 7.1.1. Now, receiving teachers, those of us who have received the books, you will find that the topic is measuring mass. So as the receiving students, your workbook will have that topic, measuring mass. However, we have changed to measuring weight. Now, class, let me ask you if you know some instruments that are used to measure weight. Have you seen some of them, or you have come across some of those instruments in your day-to-day life? Receiving students, you can tell your teachers. All right, let's hear from Samuel. Give us an example of an instrument that is used to measure weight.
Spin balance.
Very good, spring balance. I hope some of you have that answer already in your minds. Any more? Any more receiving students? Tell your teacher. Clement?
Scale. Scale.
Scale. Good. There are many scales. If you want to describe that scale that you are thinking of, you can describe it. Where did you see it, and where was it being used? Come on, someone can help him. All right, let's have Felicia to help him. Thank you.
Bath weight. A bath scale.
Good, a bathroom scale, or you can also use that when you are in the hospital or at the clinic when you are sick. The nurse use that to measure your weight so that you can be treated with the correct amount of medicine. Right, here in front of me, I have some examples here, class. You can see this one here. Okay, we have two types of scales. This is you can call this a spring balance or a spring scale, right? This is one example of it. Next one, in most schools you will find that you have this kind of spring scale or spring balance. Another example of a balance is a postal balance or postal weighing scale. This is the one. Okay. This is an example of some examples of instruments that are used to measure weight. This is a postal weigh-in scale. Postal comes from the word what? Post office, where you can weigh envelopes or anything that you are going to send to your one-talks or whoever, right? So this is used at the post office. That is why it is called a postal weighing scale. Next one next to it is an electronic balance. Okay, and electronic balance, most of you have seen this at the shop. This is a small one. You will find that in supermarkets or very big shops where you go and weigh your things like onions, oranges, but this is a small one. You find bigger ones at bigger shops, right? So this is an electronic balance, okay? Right. Why it is called an electronic balance? Because we have dry cells at the back of this weighing scale. Okay, there are batteries that make this scale to work. Now tell me, class, if you can still remember some of the units that are used to measure weight. Receiving students, you can tell your teachers. Example, a ruler is used to measure length, and the units that are used to measure length is centimeters, meters, and millimeters. What about weight? What are the units? Receiving students, tell your teacher. Emmanuel? Very good. Grams? Only grams? Come on, let's see. How many will think of good ones? Kali? Allen?
Kilograms.
Very good, kilograms, okay. And some more, just one more, bigger one, bigger than kilograms. Class, what is it? Ruthie?
Milligrams.
Okay, milligrams, very good. You're not wrong. Okay, those of you putting your hands up, what is it? Tons. Okay. So, these are all the units that are used to measure weight. Right, milligrams is the smallest, and the largest of all is tons. Now, receiving teachers, you are going to copy this table on the blackboard for your students. Those of us with books, you turn to page 37 of your students' workbook. Your students' workbook, and I will give you 1 minute to quietly read the instructions. For those schools that have the workbook, The other schools that do not have workbook, you are to copy this table into your exercise book, or your teacher will copy that. Page 15. Sorry, page 15 of your workbook. 10 to page 15. You don't do anything, model class, you read the instructions only. Because I am going to ask you questions when you finish reading. All right, let's sit, confirm your table. Okay, you should have, this column you should have substances. And in your workbook you will find large dry cell, small dry cell, laundry or bath soap, right? The next column you will see estimated mass. However, we have changed to use a word that is suitable in science, predicted weight. Another word for predicted is guess. You guess, right? And the third column is the measured weight of each of these substances. They are also called objects, but to be more appropriate in science, we use substances, because in most of your activities as you go up, you will get used to using the word substances. Right, next table, that's still part of the table. You have small plastic of stones, small plastic of shells or seeds, and bundle of pencils. Okay, I'll give you next, let's say, 1 more minute to copy that table down. Right? Receiving students and teachers, you will notice that I've added 3 more onto the list. It depends on whatever materials you have available. Okay, for the model class, you will have to bundle your biros up to weigh them. All right, receiving teachers, I hope you have copied the table down. The second part of the table is here on the screen. That shows small plastic stones and small plastic of shells or seeds and bundle of pencils. All right, class, before we move on to the activity instruction, I wonder if you have read the activity instructions and you understand what those activity instructions tell you to do. Let's sit up straight. Put your hands up if you don't understand one of the instructions in your workbook. Okay, good. That shows that you are going to do your activity smoothly. Right, all eyes in front, receiving students and the model class. Now I'd like you to take a look here. Okay, we have already named this instrument spring scale or spring balance. Now, I'd like you to watch carefully. On the spring scale, you have the measurements here, all in grams. And the measurements start from 0 to 1,000, which means this scale can weigh things that are between 0 grams to 1,000 grams, not more than 1,000, right? Now, at the top of the scale, the spring balance, you will see this little thing here. This is called a tab. Okay, this is called a tab. And this tab here, if you can read carefully, says to adjust zero setting. This tab, you will have to adjust it to 0. At the moment, you will find that this pointer here, watching, the pointer here is not at 0. It's above 0. So before you measure those substances, make sure you put your finger where the tab is and you can pull down or up. And you can pull up or down. In this case here, I have to pull down because the pointer is not at 0. I have to make sure that the pointer is straight at 0. And when it's straight at 0, you place it on your stand and you are now able to measure. Okay, that's for the scale. Let's have a look at the other one. Okay, for those groups using this scale, your tab is here. It's in this color here, metal color. Silvery color. So what you do, not silvery. This is what you do. You can adjust the pointer by turning this knob at the top. Okay? You can turn it around to make sure that it is right at 0. Okay? Here you will find that it's not at 0. So I am going to use the tab here to adjust it to 0. So what I will do, I will just turn the knob tab at the top so that it's right at 0. Okay, now it's at 0. Right, you will find that there are two measurements on this spring balance, and newtons and grams, but don't disregard the one that is in N, and you only get your readings where grams is. Okay, thank you. Now, let's go on to the first instruction. Are we ready now? Pass it. Start now. You have your instruments in front of you. What you are going to do, you will only observe and write your predictions down. Okay, class, you're not going to measure yet. What you will do, you will get your dry cell, the bundle of pencils, and just guess the weight. Predict the weight of each of those objects or substances. You will not measure. All right, let's see. Class, eyes up. You're not going to measure. The large dry cell, what is your prediction? What do you think the weight of that dry cell would be? Receiving students, tell your teacher. Anyone's got an answer or Your prediction. Shannon will tell us his prediction, his group's prediction. You all must contribute. Okay, Shannon, stand up. Shannon, you hold the dry cell. Leave that bundle of pen, put it down. Okay, you try to feel the weight of the dry cell up. Okay. Shannon, what do you think? What's your prediction?
90.
90 what?
90 grams.
All right, he's predicted 90 grams. All right, good. That's his guess. And you continue with the others. Come on, you continue with the others. You start predicting. And fill the table up. Quickly, I'm giving you only 1 minute to write your predictions down, because we have the next lot of activities to do. Do not measure the weight of those substances. Write your predictions first. All right, let's go through the estimated weight or the predicted weight of each of those items. Now, we will leave the small dry cell and go to the bath soap. Are we listening? All right, let's see. Samuel, tell us your predicted or guess weight of that laundry soap that you're holding.
200 grams.
200 what? Grams, okay, good. Hey, sorry. We don't have a small dry cell, so let's leave that out. What about a shell that I have seen on a table? That group there, what is your predicted weight for that shell?
30 grams.
Okay, 30 grams. Bundle of pens or pencils, biros or pencils. Let's have Michael.
16.
Okay, Michael says 60 grams. All right. Receiving students, if you have other objects, substances apart from what I have, you can include that on your table. For the model class, we have only this, so we will go by these substances. Right. Next instruction now, class, you are going to, let's see. Class, let's read instruction number 3 together on the screen. Right, next one.
Take the substances one at a time and measure the weight of each of them.
Last one.
Record the results in the table.
Do you understand the instructions? Yes. Okay, you may start now. Please be conscious of time and work well and carefully. Okay, once you finish with one, you move on to the next change. You got one already? What happened? Okay, that's it. Okay, as you measure, you must also record and compare your results with your predicted answers and the measured weight. Here. Now you're getting the real reading, so it has to be here. The guessing one, leave them as they are, the predicted ones. Now you're on the real measurement. All right, I am going to stop you very shortly. Please make sure that all those substances are being measured and their weights are recorded. Five more minutes. They got 5. All right, receiving students, I hope you are following with the model class. For those students or groups that do not have your instruments or equipment. All right, let's see which groups are finished. You will come up in front and record your group's results on the table. Before you do that, I hope you have understood the scale division on the spring balance or spring scale. Here on the whiteboard, all right, I have the diagram of the scale of the spring balance or spring scale. You will see the gray one, I'm referring to the gray spring balance, has numbers, has 5 scale division. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's between 0 and 100. So what do you think these divisions represent? Class? 20. So you're going to count by 20. So we have this as 20, 40, 60, 80, and 100. And it goes down the same. And what if you have your pointer pointing at 20, between 20 and 40, in the middle? What would be the reading? Right? If it's in between 20 and 40, the reading would be 30. All right, let's have this group, someone to come up and write the weight, the measured weight of the soap, laundry soap or bathing soap that you have used. Get ready, the other group. The next group, you're going to write the weight of the dry cell, laundry soap. Okay. The next group there, you are going to write the weight of the bundle of pencils, pencils, bottle. That group there, you will come up with the weight of the shell that you have used to measure. Thank you. Next group, quickly. Did you measure the bundle of pencils? Who has already measured a bundle of pencils? All right, Lisa, your group. Write the weight quickly. Oh, that's okay. You can go and see that. That group for shells. Small dry cell, that group, quickly, what is the weight? Tell me, just tell me from where you are. What is the measured weight of that shell? This group, did you measure the weight of the shell? No. Just one, or 10. Okay, that's all right. You can write 10 here in brackets. In bracket. Okay. Your group, come on quickly. Small dry cell. Write your estimated, your predicted weight and the exact weight. Small dry cell. The predicted one was? You just predict one quickly. 20, okay. The exact one? What is the exact weight? G, grams. All right, class, let's go through our answers together. Receiving students, you can compare yours. The predicted weight for the dry cell was 8 grams. Do you all agree? Those others you measured? Sorry, the predicted one was 90 grams and the measured one is 8 grams. It should have been 100. Okay, if you have 101 or 100, then it's correct. All right, the others, as you can see, 5 grams, and the list goes down. This group here, did you measure laundry soap or bath soap? Is this weight here for the laundry soap or bath soap? Both are same. So 80 class, you agree? Yes. All right, about 80 grams. What about this group here brought shells? Therefore, their exact weight was 405 grams for only 10 shells that they've put together to weigh. And the last one, class, do you agree 70 grams for bundle of pencils? All right. It should have been 30 or 20, all right? You will make mistakes, but the point is you should learn how to measure weights of those substances and read correctly the scale. All right, receiving teacher, you can do more practice on this at your own time or during the time of teaching additional exercises. Okay, this has now brought us to the end of our lesson, but before we go, we will go through the summary for today's lesson, class. Spring scale is an example of an instrument that is used to measure weight. Okay, next one, you have already given me the answers. Sorry, we have gone through that in our class time. Weight is measured in milligrams, grams, kilograms, and tons. All right, class, our next lesson will be on measuring temperature. The materials needed for the next lesson: beakers, jars, thermometers, rags, some hot water and tap water filled in the bottle. Okay. For the model class, I will provide the hot water and the thermometers. Sorry, the hot water, thermometers, and beakers. You are to bring jars like empty peanut butter jars, glass jars. Bring those ones, and rags, bring them along with you. Class, what is our key word for today's lesson? Key word. Right, let's all say the key word together. With that, thank you class for your participation in today's lesson.